Hello students, today once more I am making this video to make you understand the first chapter, that is the chapter 5 of science and first of the biology, the fundamental unit of life, and it is the cell. Dear students, you know innumerable kinds of organisms live on our planet Earth. All these organisms look different from each other. There are innumerable, uncountable number of organisms are living on Earth. You can see birds, plants, different types of animals, and they are different from each other. You can broadly classify them as bacteria, protists, fungi, plants and animals. However, all of them are made up of microscopic units called cell. These all organisms has one similarity, that they all are made up of microscopic unit, very small units, that is called the cell. Students, in some cases, a single cell function as entire organism. A single cell is able to perform all the functions of life. What are the function of life? You know the differences between the living and non-living things. Just take an example, living things can breathe, non-living things cannot. But in an organism, who breathe? All the cells. All the cells perform the function of breathing. You can take the example, the living things can move. If you take the example of human, we are also able to move. How we are moved? By the combined activity, joint effort of different types of cell in our body, like bones and muscle cells. So in some organisms, single cell function as an entire organism, and such type of organisms in which a single cell perform as entire organism are called unicellular. You can take the example of amoeba, bacteria, paramecium. They are called unicellular because they have only one cell in their body, and that single cell perform all the functions of life. All the function of life like nutrition, movement, reproduction, respiration, excretion, these all functions are performed by these cells. In other, many cells group together and acquire different functions to form various body parts. In other organisms who are called multicellular, many cells group together and acquire different functions to form various body parts. Various body parts, like if you talk about your hand, it is a part of our body. It is not made by only one cell. It is made by a group of different types of cells like bone, like muscles, skin, and they all have the group of cells. Such type of organisms are called multicellular, many cell, having many cell in the body. You can take the example of some fungi, plants and animals. Now question arises, why do all these organisms have cells? We can give the answer that all living organisms perform various metabolic reactions in a delicately balanced environment to sustain life. All living organisms perform various metabolic reactions. So first of all, you have to know what are metabolic reactions. Students, all the chemical activities that happens inside the cell, inside the body, are called metabolic reactions. These reactions are of two types: anabolic reactions and catabolic reactions. Anabolic reactions are the reactions in which two or more simpler molecules are combined together to form a complex molecule. For example, photosynthesis, in which water and carbon dioxide combine together in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to form the carbohydrate, means glucose. Carbon dioxide is a simple molecule, water is a simple molecule, inorganic also, and they combine together to form a complex molecule. Glucose, you know the formula C6H12O6, that is a complex molecule. This is an example of anabolic reaction. Photosynthesis is an example of anabolic reaction. Second type of reaction is catabolic reaction, in which a complex molecule break down into their simpler components by evolution of energy. Energy has been evolved in catabolic reactions. For example, you can take the respiration process, in which glucose break down in presence of oxygen to release energy, and byproducts are water and carbon dioxide. A complex molecule of glucose break down into carbon dioxide and water. These are the simpler molecules. So this is an example of catabolic reaction. And these anabolic and catabolic reactions are combinedly called the metabolic reactions. So students, cell in living organisms act as life supporting chamber and provide them such a special balanced environment. In other words, you can say every living cell keeps its chemical composition steady within its boundary and thus is capable of performing the activities in a desired manner. Therefore, cell is regarded as the structural and functional unit of living organisms. In this chapter, you have to study the discovery and history of the cell, unicellular and multicellular organisms, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, structure of typical eukaryotic cell, plasma membrane, its molecular structure, and the functions like passive transport, active transport, and bulk transport of materials across plasma membrane, cell wall, nucleus, cytoplasm. In cytoplasm, you have to study cytosol, cell organelles, and cell inclusions. Some presentations I already sent for the cell organelles like nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi body. These are the cell organelles. You received the PowerPoint presentation already, and I hope that you will able to understand with the help of those presentations. If you have any problem, feel free to ask. Today I am also making this video because of your request, and the girl is Muskan Pandey. I thanking him. He asked this to me. Let's talk about the discovery and history of the cell. Dear students, the term cell was introduced by an English scientist. You know the name? It was Robert Hooke. He introduced the term cell in his book Micrographia, which was published in 1665. That's why we say that Robert Hooke discovered the cell in 1665. He examined thin slices of cork under his self-designed microscope. See, this is the picture of self-designed microscope of Robert Hooke. This microscope has the capability to magnify to increase the size to view 14 to 42 times, and this microscope was designed by Robert Hooke. The cork is a substance. What is cork? Cork is a substance obtained from the bark of Spanish oak tree. And the name of that tree is Quercus. He was surprised to note that cork resembled the structure of honeycomb and consisted of many tiny compartments. You see, it resembled the structure of honeycomb. This drawing is drawn by Robert Hooke. In fact, he saw the dead cells of plants having only cell wall, which looked like empty rooms. These dead cells had lost their living contents. He called these small rooms as cellulae. Cellulae is a plural word. Cellula is the singular. So he saw many compartments, that's why he named it cellulae. And that now we known as the cell. So you can say the word cell is come from a Latin word which means a little room. Cellula means a little room. Okay. This simple observation made by Robert Hooke, which appears to be a very small and insignificant, was an extremely important discovery in the history of biological sciences. It was the first observation which showed that organisms were made up of small units called cells. Robert Hooke subsequently used his primitive microscope to observe many other plant cells. And after his discovery, a chain of discovery has been started, and it was Anton van Leeuwenhoek designed improved microscope, then the Robert Hooke, and described for the first time free living cells like bacteria is having only one cell and it is free living. He described the free living cells, and it was the year 1674. He also described protozoans, red blood corpuscles, and human sperm cells. In 1831, a Scotch botanist, Robert Brown, discovered the nucleus in an orchid root cell. By this time, it has also been found that the cell were surrounded by some sort of limiting structure, and that limiting structure is the cell membrane. A French zoologist, Dujardin, discovered in 1835 a semi-fluid living material in certain protozoan, and he named as sarcode. In 1840, Johannes E. Purkinje noted similar material like the Dujardin in plant cells and named it protoplasm. That means the first substance. The means of protoplasm, the first substance. A German botanist, M.J. Sliden, in 1838 announced that all plants were composed of cells. A year later, in 1839, a German zoologist, that is Theodor Schwann, stated that all animals were also formed of cells. In 1858, another German biologist, and it was Rudolf Virchow, he presented the idea omnis cellula e cellula. It means all living cells arise from the pre-existing cells. This led to the modification of cell theory. Haeckel in 1866 reported that the nucleus stores and transmits hereditary information. Nucleus has been discovered by Robert Brown in 1831, and the function is discovered by Haeckel in 1866, and he said nucleus stores and transmit hereditary information. Electron microscope you are seeing at the figure was discovered by Knoll and Ruska in 1940. Discovery of electron microscope made it possible for us to observe and understand the complex structure of the cell and its various cell organelles, that is called ultrastructure of the cell. We know that the really important parts of the cell are its content, and the cell may or may not have a cell wall. Thus, the term cell is misnomer. However, the word cell is still used to describe the structural and functional unit of life. Let's talk about the modern cell theory that is proposed by Sleden and Swan and modified by Rudolf Virchow. Some points of this cell theory, you have to listen it carefully. All living beings are composed of minute units, and these units are cells. A cell is a mass of protoplasm containing a nucleus and bounded by a cell membrane, and in many cases by a cell wall also. Cell is generally bounded by cell membrane, but in many cases additional cell wall is also around the cell membrane. All cells are basically alike in structure and metabolic activities. The basic structure of all the cells and the metabolic activities of all the cells are nearly similar, whether they belongs to any organism. The functions of an organism as a whole is the result of the activities and interaction of the constituent cells. You can take once more the example of movement, walking. When we walk, it is the joint effort of muscles, bones, and will also. And these are the movement in us is the joint effort. That is saying here the functions of an organism as a whole is the result of the activities and interactions of constituent cells like muscle cells, bone cells. And last point is all living cells arise from a pre-existing cell. Students, as I think I sent the video earlier to make these basic things to understand, but on demand of Muskan Pandey, I am sending this video to all of you. In next video, I will talk about the instruments which are used to study the cell, the capacity of their magnification. And till then, dear students, stay home, remain safe. You know, this was your biology teacher Girish Kumar Singh speaking with you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.